on the down tick.
We're
14,
live,
13,
buddy.
12,
We're
11, 10,
no,
9,
I'm at zero
8.
already.
Yeah,
We're
that's how far, that's the lag.
You were 10 seconds back, huh?
I was 13 seconds back. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Friday night. John here from the Origin Factory and Rob from Extreme Toys in beautiful Dallas, Texas.
McKinney.
Shift yourself over to your right a little bit. There you go. Now you're about dead center.
Well, I was just typing. Sorry. I was
Gotcha.
trying to
No
type
worries.
on the chat. Let me move the computer. That way it'll I gave y'all a new
Uh,
background today.
Cover that up. There we go. Boy, I just had an awesome eBay experience and I thought of you right away.
Hmm.
Not that you're do this type of thing, but just the experiences you have had with eBay. So I bought an item and inside the box was, "Hey Nick, I'm returning this in a factory box because the one you sent wasn't sustainable." And then it's the packing slip for a return. So the guy I purchased it from never opened it again since it was returned for not functioning and just sent it out
Yeah.
and sold it again without even opening it up.
So you got a return
Sold again without even being
sold
open.
again,
Yeah, the
and it had
return,
a note.
yeah, packing slip with the return slip with a note in there. So the guy who bought it and returned it before me put his little love letter in there with his return slip, and this guy just relisted it. And
What
then
was it?
oh, my other hobby.
Oh, choo choo.
Yeah. So I looked, and this guy has a really low eBay score, so he hasn't sold a lot. And the guy that returned it, I could figure out which one was his just by the feedback. And it
Hmm.
says returned item wasn't functioning properly, would buy again, accepted a return, that kind of stuff. So it's like, oh God, now I gotta test this thing just to verify it doesn't work. And then,
Is it a locomotive?
yeah. And it was extremely less expensive. And I bought it for that reason because I wanted to use it for another project. But if the electronics are junk, then that's not going to help me. So,
Yeah. I'm messing with the camera.
yeah, no worries. So,
Try to
yeah,
get it.
good times buying and selling and all that happy stuff.
It sucks, man. I mean, I don't know if everybody out there in the world is seeing what I'm seeing, but
I,
the
it's,
market sucks and people are getting worse.
yeah, I've never bought anything before where it was a returned item and sent out again and is not working. And it's like, dude, so he didn't even verify it didn't work, or maybe he didn't know how to. He just listed it again and boom.
And
Oh
just
man.
discounted it. Did he say in the description that it wasn't working properly?
No. And I looked up the description for when I purchased it, and it says in the detailed description, it says description shows it all, and it says like new, only used a couple of times. So it's
That
like,
is so wild.
uh, Ash is
That is
saying hi
oh.
from beautiful Canada. Hello, Ash.
Hey,
Hey.
hey, hey, Ro. Oh, I like that one. Hey, Ro. Okay, I
There.
get it now, Ash. That's funny.
So
I like your
he,
humor.
he's Asian Canadian. Hero.
Hey, is that racist?
I don't care anymore. We're past that.
I,
If it doesn't get us demonetized, well, can't get demonetized. They're not even monetized, so it doesn't really matter. Who cares? Whatever.
yeah. Oh man, I'm so tired.
Alaska Air. What is that? Is that an otter or what is that?
That is a Turbo Bushmaster.
Ooh. But has that got the
So
Alaska
that
Air
is
Eskimo on the tail? Is that what I'm seeing?
yes,
Oh, it is.
yes, it
Okay.
does. You want me to get it down?
No, don't have to. See all your phantoms up there.
Well, I know I was trying to actually get the. I don't want everybody to see my Tyco in the background. I can't be I can't be a RC guru if I've got Tyco in the background, right? You
Oh,
see it back there?
I still have my Tyco. Um, what did they call it? Turbo hopper or what was it called? The
Was
the
that?
the
Oh, you have a.
buggy.
Oh, wow. So you had the little buggy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I had the maroon one.
Wow,
Kind of like a
man, that's
grasshopper,
cool.
kind of. I don't know. Did Nico make those or did Tyco make their own? Or I don't remember.
I think Tyco made the Turbo Hopper on their own, and then right after that was the Bandit, and I loved my Bandit. I actually traded a Tamaya for a Tyco Bandit.
You're so broken.
I know.
Tamiya. Oh, I still haven't contacted Bai.
I've given up. I'm just expecting them to seize it and tell you to kick rocks.
Yeah. Well, I had to update my phone the other day, and I lost all my email accounts, and it made me reset them, and it didn't put them all back in, and so I haven't been getting email notifications. My email notifications are last from Tuesday and on. I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Fighting with that.
I I don't know what the hell YouTube was doing to me earlier, but they made me go through a three-step verification process. And then they wanted to send the code to my phone, so I told it to send. And then it says, "Well, we sent the code," and so I was like, "I didn't get it. Resend it." And then if you don't get it, we can send it to your email. So I had them send it to the email. I wasn't getting any of them. Then it wanted my address and it wanted all this other stuff, and I was like, "No, no, no, forget you. You're not getting all that. You're getting
Uh huh.
let me in."
So, are you
Ah,
caught up
so
from your other household woes that you were experiencing the last couple of weeks? Is that situation all figured out, or
I don't
ninety-nine
know. I
percent
mean,
or?
I won't say 99%, but I will say that I'm getting there.
Oh, sure.
So
Okay.
I can work in my room now. I've got most of it set back up. It's I still can't find crap. Everything is kind of still all over the place. So I'm still just trying to, you know, get situated and all that.
Sure.
So I don't know. I'm so far behind. End of the month, and then so the end of the month isn't bad for me. It's the first of the month when my eBay resets and all that. So it's going to be a big push, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to get everything listed and get everything started
Yeah,
again.
just noticed it was the last day of the month already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
We went out crawling last weekend, so we got to go out for a little bit and
Yeah.
hang out at the park. It was good. Same old, same old.
Yeah. Well, and now with summer, so I've got baby.
Yep.
I mean, full time basically. She's
Uh-huh.
here 3 days one week and 5 days the next. So,
Sent her up here
which
for
is
2 days.
great. I love it.
Sent her up here for 2 days.
Um, I wouldn't. No, I don't want to drive her all the way up there. No.
Stick her on a bus. Come on.
No. I got mugged. No, no, no. I went to the. I so I was. My parents got divorced when I was in ninth grade, right before ninth grade.
Sure.
And I got sent with my father to Waco. So I used to, this is back in 1990. So in 1990, I was 14, 15 years old, and I would catch a bus every other week from Waco, Texas to downtown Dallas. And then my mom would drive down to Dallas and she'd pick me up at the Dallas bus station. I'm 15 years old taking a leak at a urinal in the downtown Dallas bus terminal, and I got mugged.
Good God.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, and after that, I refused to ride the bus. I was like, nope, not doing that no more.
So
He
you were
waited
the,
until
you
I
were the,
was,
so you were that ugly as a child. They wouldn't abduct you, but they would take your money.
yeah, he took my wallet. So I get, I'm standing at the urinal, have my, in my hand, and he waited until he heard me pee. And then he walked up behind me, and I felt something in my back, and he says, I'm taking your wallet, don't move. And the next thing I know, he's gone. That's it. Poof, gone. So,
Did you
and
ever
then
hear? Did you ever hear that Jack Benny bit? Your money or your life.
uh uh
So you remember old time radio? Jack Benny was a radio star before television. He was kind of
okay,
like
yeah.
a comedian, that kind of stuff. And he was supposed to be extremely frugal and cheap as a character. And I don't know if he was in real life, but anyways. And he's supposedly getting mugged on the street or something. He goes, your money or your life. And he pauses, he doesn't say anything. And the crook is like, come on, your money or your life. He goes, hold on, I'm thinking it over.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
and here's the worst part. So I had to have been 15 because I remember I had my motorcycle license. And that was the worst part is I had to go get a
New
new
paperwork.
license.
Sure.
Yeah, and my father, in all of his brilliance, his comment to me when I called and I was like, "Hey, I'm not riding the bus home. You're gonna have to meet mom in Waxahachie. You don't have a choice." And he's, "Well, why not?" So I told him the story. His first words were, "You should have turned around and pissed on him." And I was like, "Thanks, Dad."
That's kind of like the Rodney Carrington bit. Remember what he says? He goes, just start
Uh-uh.
taking your clothes off. Nobody wants to fight nobody wants to fight with a naked man.
Yeah,
Just start taking
but
your clothes off. Yeah.
yeah, I was just like, "Oh my God." And that was the end of when I was like, yeah, I'm not living with him anymore. I'm moving. I told my mom when I got off the phone, Mom, I want to move home. So,
Yeah. Um,
God,
I don't know if we've talked about this, but did you see the new release this week
which one?
from our favorite?
The Kenwald?
No, they came out with another one.
I missed it.
Yeah, I was pretty sure you didn't catch this one. I'm gonna put it up on the screen.
Are you not talking about the B5? Are you?
No, no,
Okay,
worse than
I
that.
saw the B5.
Worse than that. It's just it's another box art, like I like to say, You, you should see it here any second.
Any second now. 10, 9. Oh yeah, I thought the T had already come out though. Oh, okay. It's the cliplet. Oh my God. Wow.
They keep pumping them out.
Okay, now wait a minute. I do see something about that I like, and I don't think you noticed it. You see what color the tub is?
Oh yeah, it's red or something. Let's see.
Yeah.
Whoops.
So
I gotta put it
that
on the right.
was, oh my gosh, that sucks. So those are powder coated tubs that Associated released. They released a green one, a yellow one, and a red one. And they released them for a very, very short stint of time. And oh man, that really kind of hoses the collectors. Wow. Wow.
As I like to say, just more new box art because I don't know. Maximum purchase units, pre-order price of $419. So they've because I think a lot of their stuff was $349 not that long ago. So I don't know if that's in response to tariffs or I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh my gosh. Team Associated. I got to get this screen to come up so you can see this too. This is kind of funny. Um, so on their vintage page, so everything that's not sold out gets a free T-shirt. They're still doing the free T-shirt deal. So that's how you
What
can
does that
tell.
tell you?
That's how you can tell what's still left in inventory. Is you just scroll through the ones that say free T-shirts.
Yeah.
So yeah, the
Mm.
Yokomo YZ10, the DS, um, the Clear Buggy, the Nitro 10 GT, which it's kind of
Yeah,
funny because
I showed you.
it's all the stuff you would think of as being the least desirable is basically what's still left. The graphite
Yeah.
sold out, so yeah,
Oh man.
free T-shirts. Oh lordy, I don't know if that really drives sales when you think about it. That's our age group that's mostly buying this stuff, and I don't know, free T-shirts, just yeah. RC Fabricator.
Yeah, I said
Good
high low.
good evening, sir.
It's so funny. I wasn't actually watching any of his stuff because you and I have discussed that I have never actually watched the other YouTuber that is local to me. Um, but it was funny. His One of his videos popped up in my things you may want to look at, and it says, "Oh my gosh, a Vanquish."
Oh,
Uh,
I saw that too.
I
I
was
didn't watch.
like,
I didn't watch the video. I kind of well, actually, I pulled it up
I
and
didn't either.
I scrolled through it real quick, and it was yeah, I don't know, a few seconds benchtop of the H10. The rest was covering a local racetrack or something like that. But
Yeah, that's Shaw's. It's just north of us, a couple hours. It's like 2 hours from me. So it's sad we don't have any racing going on around in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. Well, in the Dallas Metroplex.
sure,
So for the people that don't know, everybody refers to Dallas, Texas as Dallas Fort Worth. But we are 60, depending on what side of the Metroplex you live on, there's 60 miles between Dallas and Fort Worth. We're not neighbors. It's a 2 hour drive from my house to Fort Worth. So it's not close.
right. But
So
directly side by side to Dallas and Fort Worth, where they're closest, is it continuous city, or does there actually a gap where there's?
oh no, there's a gap. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
there
a
is.
gap.
Okay.
Yeah. And ironically,
So I mean, because
um
we've got Minneapolis and St. Paul. St. Paul's our
uh-huh.
capital, but Minneapolis is our largest city. But they're
Yeah.
like downtown to downtown. It's probably like 10 or 15 miles apart. So it's basically just one continuous stretch of interstate surrounded by city. But
Yeah. Most people think that Dallas Fort Worth are very close together, and they always refer to it as the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. It's really it's really not. Dallas is far more metropolitan based than Fort Worth. When you start leaving Dallas and start getting closer to Fort Worth, you start noticing it's more spread out. There's definitely more room in Fort Worth,
mm-hmm.
but I will say that the traffic over on the north side of Fort Worth is probably some of the worst in the state.
Hmm.
So I actually was born over that way. So I as a little kid we used to have to drive from Fort Worth to Richardson, where my grandparents lived, every weekend.
Sure.
So, because my father was stationed at the Air Force Base over in Fort Worth. So, but yeah, it's not as close as everybody thinks. But yeah, so the only thing racing wise we have in Dallas Fort Worth is an indoor carpet stuff. The outdoor and the off road stuff is Shaw's up in Ardmore, which is about 2 hours north. And then I'm trying to think. I know there's some stuff south of us, but not much. Oklahoma City's got pretty good, pretty. I think they've got two tracks, two indoor tracks up there, two indoor off road tracks.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, we're
which is
not.
surprising because Oklahoma City's dead.
We've got an indoor carpet track called Dollar Hobbies. There's a couple outdoor tracks, but they're out away from the city, so it's so when you're ever one direction outside the city, for some people it's a straight line to where they live, and it's not that far away. But then people on the opposite side, it's like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hour drive. So it always hurts
Hmm.
stuff that's not centrally located because then it just turns into such a lopsided drive for some people. But then that's where
Yeah,
it's people are able to afford to put up something like that because space inside the city isn't cheap, and most of these guys that are building these outdoor tracks out in the sticks are doing it on their personal property, so they don't have to buy a piece of property to do all that stuff. And
yeah,
so it's, yeah, I mean, same thing here. It's kind of dead. I mean, the drifting is, there's a fair amount of drifters. The bashers, they tend to meet in some of the local parks. Um, and the ones that are friendlier to us. But it's kind of, it's not a lot of structure here. It's not really
yeah. We
organized
don't.
RC stuff.
I don't really think. I'm trying to think of the drift stuff. I don't think there's much in the way of drift around here at
Well, I
all.
and I just
I
found
think
out
I think
when we
there's
were out.
one little place.
Yeah, when we were out crawling, they were talking about it that one of our indoor shopping malls, one that is failing, so the rent isn't as high. They opened a drift course in one of the retail spaces in one of our failing shopping malls. So it's kind of funny what opens up in shopping malls once they're no longer popular. It's like, wow, you guys must be desperate for people to come in here because I know a hobby like drifting doesn't have a lot of money behind it. So you must be just about giving the space away.
Yeah. Y'all feel free to chime in. Oh boy, I can't spell tonight. Well, crap.
Chayome.
I think I'm having. I think I know. I think I'm having internet issues.
Hmm.
My laptop keeps acting wonky. So that's weird. I don't know. Have you noticed the abundance of crawlers, high end stuff that's popping up for sale lately? Holy cow.
I mean, I'm seeing a mix of it. I don't know. Do you think it's more so than usual?
I've noticed a lot of builds, like full builds, especially in the like the Northwest Scalar group
Yeah, I've
and
noticed
some
a
of
few of
the
those.
high end RC group.
But then
I've noticed a lot of
I've also seen people in Northwest Scalar design group looking for rigs too. So like there was a guy looking for a trail duster just the other day because he
was it
wanted to.
Riley
I don't remember.
or
Maybe it was.
Josh? I saw Riley and Josh. Yeah, both. I don't know. I just noticed that you know normally you see parts. I see a lot of parts, but I noticed that there's quite a few guys that are selling full built rigs, like ready to go rigs. Just add your radio and receiver. So I was just shocked. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
So
Well, and
I
I
don't
told
know.
you I had a
Kind
guy
of
reach out to me wanting a few origins, so I was kind of surprised to hear that. But I was trying to figure out make a deal with this guy out in Tennessee, I think is where he's at.
yeah.
So there's always people kind of trickling into the hobby.
Well, and with the Origins, I understand it because that's very high end collectible, and it tends to get. I think it gets a lot more attention just because of its price. The price point. People are like, okay, they take notice. Oh my
Right.
God, that's a $3,000 crawler. Why? And then they start looking into it. The more
Right.
they look into it, the more they get interested. It just kind of snowballs. So,
Right. Right.
but I
Well, and
don't
that
know.
was the other thing
I
we
noticed.
talked about this week. It seems like some of the higher end stuff, it's usually not the regulars in the groups that are buying that stuff. Because when I list some
Yeah,
more
no.
expensive stuff, I always get messages from people I've never even seen before, you know, lurkers or
Hmm.
whatever, you know, people are not active in the groups. And this guy that's interested in these origins, he's like, yeah, I got a family, I got a life, I don't have time to hang out on Facebook. And I'm like, yeah, kind of a little,
I get
kind of,
that.
kind of a little side note on that one. But yeah, it's
I
definitely,
have a 5 year old that takes my phone. I can't hang out on Facebook when she's here.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
She wants to watch Paw Patrol.
Oh, geez. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Don't
did
start
you,
that yawning crap.
oh, I'm sorry. Did you get my 3D printing stuff, or how are you where are you at with that?
I sent you a photo and I didn't hear back from you, so I just threw it all in the trash can.
Okay. Sounds good. Mail it to.
Oh wait, hold on, I'll show you. Here it is.
Uh-huh.
You like that
Uh-huh.
interior? There's
Uh-huh.
some of your radiator.
Uh-huh.
Here's one of your valve cover holders.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, here we'll talk about it since you brought it up. I'll bring it over and show you. That way we can kind of go over it.
I
So,
still oh, my vinyl graphics guy, he frustrates me.
oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Uh
All right.
there's
Oh,
something
look, you can see
in
my butt. Okay, so this is one of the pictures that I sent you, and you can see the line separation. You see where it did what I was
yeah.
talking about?
Yep.
And I guess it just ran out of the gray, and so it defaulted to another gray that was as close as it had in preloaded. So if you're gonna paint it, that one is great. I mean, the quality, the finish quality on it's amazing. It looks good. So, and then these are your headers. Yeah, you got a little baggy. So I did your headers in that gold gray color, and I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if does the shift come through on the camera? Do you see it shifting from silver to gray
I
to
mean,
gold?
yeah, kind of, because you can see it looks shadowy on the camera, but I can tell what it's.
And then this is what I do with mine, so you can see the difference.
Oh, move it to your left. There you go. Dead center. So you try to make it look
See,
like
I add,
titanium, welded titanium.
yeah, I put the bluing in there,
Yep.
kind of give it a little bit of a little different look.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did a couple different valve covers for you. So these are the coil packs,
Yep.
and they go on the side, right? Well, let me. Oh, a little bit of support material there. Huh. Let me pop that off real quick. Okay, there we go. All right, so the coil packs go like that. And
Uh-huh.
then I went ahead and I did a set of the valve covers in that same gold gray. So
It's
if you
weird how
like
they
it, if
that's
not,
weird how they pick that color to flop with, gold and gray.
I and honestly, if I showed you the spool, you'd be like, God, that is an ugly filament. But when it prints, it is a very pretty print. It really is. It looks amazing. And then this is a black valve cover with
Uh-huh.
the gold coil packs. I like the coil packs in gold. I think it just adds a nice texture color. Like it really looks good.
Uh-huh.
And then there's your air intake tube,
Sure.
and then Whipple supercharger. This was on the bed with that other engine block, and you can see the gray.
Uh-huh.
So let's see here. Now your other option that I have, if you want it, is I went ahead and did a solid black block. So it actually comes out. And that's the neat thing about these is you can you can kind of piece it together and then look at it to kind of get an idea, what you think of it.
Right.
And then you can
Uh-huh.
kind of, okay, well, that looks good, but maybe I want to change this color or that color or whatever. So I'll let you decide. We'll talk about it later.
Right.
But I got you a radiator. There's your radiator. And the radiator, I did it in silk silver, so it has a very raw aluminum look to it. Um, the fingernail polish works great for like the caps. I use fingernail because you can get those pearlescent, gives it kind of that anodized look of a like for the radiator cap.
Well, I think nail
So
polish is just lacquer, so lacquer paint will stick to it, huh?
anything will stick to it, just about anything. So
Where
and
are you
then
at
I
with your
got, like I
next?
said,
Oh,
sorry.
where are you at with your next optic? Did you get the chassis and all that stuff? And I saw body panels.
Yes, yeah. The body's done. The body is on the chassis. It's a lot of red. It's out in the garage. I can go grab it. It's a lot of red. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it because it's a lot of red. It came
Yeah,
out to be
that's
way more red than I thought.
it's pretty bold. Needs something to break it up a little bit.
Well, and I did even the filler panels. I tried them in red and I also did them in silver. So I have a set of silver filler panels and a set of red filler panels for like under the hood and in the back section. And I can't. The silver makes the red look pink, but the red panels make the other red seem like a lot of red. So I don't know quite yet how I feel about it.
I'm kind of mixed on the filler panels. Sometimes I kind of like the raw see-through stuff, and
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like some of these print ideas are just to add another layer of, oh, look what else you can stick here. Just keep making
hmm
stuff to make stuff, you know?
Yeah. Now I did. This is not your interior. This is one for me. But I did start working on another interior. This is going to go in my red one. And I was going to show you if you can see that's
Yeah,
only two coats of filler primer and you can the layer lines almost vanish after the
sure.
second coat.
Sure.
So, and the filler primer sticks to it and this is the articulated. So you have a servo
Right.
spot here, you have a servo spot here for the shifter and a servo spot here for the head.
Now, is that just the
So
standard micro servo or is it
yes, little 9 gram,
right?
the little cheap, super cheap 9 gram. So if you want to animate it, you can animate it. If you don't, you don't have to. And I do like the way they did that. It's not necessary to animate it, but you can if you really
How do
want.
you tie the arms together? Did they pull it? I thought they put like a rubber band in there or something to keep tension on all the joints, or what do they do? Or
No, there's a hole in there, and I think you put yeah, that's what it is. There's a hole in there, so you put a screw into the arm. Here, let me see if let me pop his arm. Pop. Oh, well, you don't even have to. Okay, so this arm sticks in the socket. This arm just needs. Looks like you could put a dowel rod or a screw in this arm. Well, no, neither arm has holes in it. Huh? That's weird. It looks like to me there's a big hole here and a small hole here. So I bet that you drill and you put this arm in and then you do the you do this other arm from the inside because there's a little more room to get to it inside here.
sure,
But I don't know. You could probably get away with just using a piece of tubing to join the two, just to give it something kind of a friction joint to hold it in place. Because like you saw, it didn't just come right out. These are Night Customs. These are from Night Customs. I really dig them. I really, he does an amazing job of it's not. So you and I were talking about it earlier about the JE motors,
Yeah.
and you were like, "Oh, can't you just print all the little pieces like JE does and all that?" And JE is designed to be way more accurate and way more detailed, and
Hmm.
that's why he makes his motors completely bolt together. Knights designed their files for the average guy. They designed it to be less sophisticated and still give it a good look. They try to keep it simple and not make it overly like when they did the accessory drive, they give it belts and pulleys and everything all as one. Then on the back, there's a little guide pin here and here, which lines up with the blower and a spot on the block.
Hmm.
So they did their best to keep it simple, which and I really like that. I really like the Knights customs because they don't feel as fragile. I've got a JE that I made a stand for, and it's if it's not in a car, it's fragile. You got to be kind of careful with it. And I know you've run yours. Don't you have one in a moon
Oh
runner?
yeah, I got it. Yeah, and I've already rebuilt it once. Not to the fault of the way it was built, just because the way I drive my stuff, it takes a lot of abuse, and it's like, yeah, it's not meant to take impacts, and it wasn't where it's located in the chassis. It's not shielded enough, so I don't drive that one
Yeah,
as much now. But whatever. I mean,
and
it looks really
like
good, but
yeah, and Knights looks really good, especially if you take a little bit of time with the paint and just really bring the detail out. They look great. But the cool thing is that they're built to be run. They're built, he designs them very specifically to kind of be tucked away and hidden and, strong and, very sturdy and bulky, where they're not as fragile and detailed as the JE. So, and in case anybody needs, here, we're sitting here saying JE, I might as well get one. So this is what the JEs look like,
yeah,
and this
super
is a
detailed.
LSX.
Yeah, I've got.
And even like I don't know if anybody's ever noticed this, but the belts are even
Oh yeah,
they're printed out of TPU, so they're rubber.
I've got a supercharged big block Chevy and a monster truck chassis that he built for me also. So I got a 4-cylinder Toyota, and then I also got that big block Chevy supercharged and the
Oh,
ooh, I think I can actually grab that one. Oh yeah.
boy, that is one big girl.
Yeah.
That looks good. I love
Yeah.
that chassis. That's a good looking chassis.
Yeah, they quit making them. They're done with them. They
Yeah, that's
closed.
one that if I ever bought a monster truck, that's one that I would want right there.
So Bigfoot actually had a Chevrolet powered one. I forgot which one it was, but anyways.
John's Interior. Nope, don't look, John. Don't look. Look, everybody. John's Interior. Okay.
Uh-huh. So Bigfoot actually had one Chevrolet powered truck. I forgot how they ended up with it. It was one of those things they needed an extra truck right away, and they bought one that was oh
What'd you do?
they Bigfoot and Gravedigger raced for the floor. So
Oh,
my favorite little Gravedigger.
your favorite little gravedigger?
Uh huh.
Why? Why is it your favorite?
Because it's not a axial and it's not a low C. It's RC Freestyle one that was specifically made for Gravedigger, and I think there's only like 3 of them. So
Man, that is a cool truck. I mean,
So that's the 24 scale or 18
I think
scale?
it's considered 18. Yeah, but check out the new wheels. I don't know if I even told you I did that.
Uh-uh. Are those Trio or who made
Yep,
them?
Trill. I will say this: there is a couple of the newer chassis out there for these little guys that I really want one. I've seen there's a guy that's got a little. It's I guess you would call it a carpet chassis, but I mean it squats the truck way down low,
Sure.
and he's running a Toyota body, so he takes the cage and stuff off so he can set the body down even further to give it even a sleeker look. And
Sure.
it's brushless and he's running it on like 3S and it's just ballistically fast. It's so
Yeah.
pointless, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I've noticed that with when we were out crawling, some of the guys we crawl with are definitely much more hardcore than I am. And they all got theirs dropped really low, and it really helps lower the center of gravity so they're not so tippy. And I look at my truck and it's like, yeah, my truck sits way too high. I need to put shorter shocks on it or something and get it setting a little lower because I watch these guys, their trucks, and they're like, oh, they're so stable and they're so low to the ground. It's like, it's like suspension travel. How much travel do you really need on a crawler?
Yeah.
It's not jumping. It just needs to articulate a little bit. But
Well, and I've been working on that trench knife, the Forerunner one that I sent
hmm
you pictures of, and it's funny because I'm running a 4 point. I tried it with 4.19s, and I like the way the 4.19s look, but I couldn't get over in my head that they're 4.19s. I really I feel like you should run the biggest tire you possibly can. But I got to talking to a couple guys, and they're like, you'll get more articulation with a smaller tire because you're allowing that tire to clear more stuff. He says when you start running a bigger tire, you got to really start paying attention to the clearancing of everything because the slightest little bit will knock a quarter or a half inch of articulation out. So I ended up having to really open the fenders and play with it just to get. And I settled with a 4.3 Berserker tire on that. It's a
okay.
portal but the springs are under the axle, so it's a little different setup. So I don't know. I'm excited to get that thing out and try it. It's kind of a totally different build than what I've done in the past. So
hmm
still playing with this leaf spring stuff. It's interesting, even though it keeps hurting me. But it's interesting.
You mean financially hurting you or?
No, it cuts me regularly. I've cut myself a couple times just with
Oh,
springs or with
just doing
what?
your assembly or?
Yeah, it's just they're a handful sometimes. They get finicky and oh my god, I just realized. So if you look in the background picture of my background, there is it's you showed the Cliff Let
Yep.
RC10T. Look at the RC10 in the background.
Yeah, I can see it. Yep.
It only thing it doesn't have is the
Cow
moo
spots.
spots.
Yeah.
Well, the moo spots. Moo.
I'm in cow country.
So
You're not.
no, you're not in Wisconsin.
Basically.
Eh, is the cheese better up there than here?
Actually, yes. Dairy products are really good out of Wisconsin. We actually there's a county dairy, basically where the farmers bring their milk to and they make milk and cheese and ice cream and all that stuff. And I actually make a trip to there, I don't know, 2, 3 times a year just to buy cheese. Because all the regular high production grocery store cheese is super dry and it's set up for long shelf life and stuff. And the stuff is moist and just good flavor. And yeah. So, anyways, it's got nothing to do with RC, but whatever.
Well, there's only 8 people watching us,
Yeah,
so we only
they,
have to make we
they
only
don't.
have to make 4 of them happy to make half of them happy. So,
Yeah, we already got 3 likes, so we're fine for the day.
oh, we're almost there. Wait. Let me see. Hold on. Where's my cursor? Oh, damn, my cursor. There it is.
Justin,
How many likes do we have now?
Wisconsin here, bud. Justin, I did not know you were in Wisconsin. Are you the Justin I'm thinking about that I see on the Spec RC page a lot? That's another big Spec RC wheel guy, Justin. That's who I'm thinking of right now, but I'm not for certain. Welcome, Justin.
Well, that is so weird. My chat disconnected. Oh, now I'm back. Okay, that's weird. Chanquish F10's axles with Mia's gear. Oh, okay. Mia's gears. Huh.
Moose. He's
Moose.
Canadian. I'm sure he says
Whatever.
moose.
So, hey, I came up with something that I think we should do.
Yes.
I
We
I
were gonna
think
do
we
it. We
should.
were gonna
I'm
do a
gonna.
build off at one time, and that fell apart several times. Even though I brought it up several times with several different platforms.
Yeah, I don't know how the build off thing would go. I mean, I'm not good at following rules, so
No, there wouldn't be any
um.
rules. There would just be a starting base point, and just use your free spirit and
Oh, okay.
decide what you want it to be.
Oh, okay. Well, we need it. We definitely.
Just have the
We
same
need to do
starting
something.
point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do. I was telling you, I'm gonna go and do. I think I'm gonna start doing like videos once a week. I'm gonna take a car, so because I've got enough cars for 180 something weeks worth of videos,
Uh huh.
and I'm gonna do a car. I'm gonna do a video like a just an explanation video of what the car is, a little bit of the history. I wonder if that would be cool. Would people
Yeah,
want to
there's
see
a
that?
guy that. What's that? Oh, I think there's a guy with a channel. It might be called like RC Legends or something like that. And
Okay, yep.
he covers a lot of the Tamiya stuff. But he doesn't really focus on one thing so much. He kind of touches everything a little bit. So it's kind of like good for a broad overview, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Well, I just
I
know.
remember finding him because when I was looking for an F201 video, it's like nobody's got F201 videos, and he happened to have one, you know.
I just know that I've got a lot of oddball cars. Like I have a Yokomo sitting here that's
Yeah, I agree with you on that aspect. And what I frustrates with me is a lot of the stuff people go to on YouTube is they're searching for it. So if you got oddball stuff that nobody knows about, they're never going to put it in a search. You know what I mean?
yeah. And I
I'm
was
not
gonna
saying
ask
that,
you.
and I'm not saying that to discourage you, but that's one of the things I struggle with. Sometimes it's like when I did the breakdown of the origin, you know, it's like, I mean, that's something I really love, and I'm glad I did the video, but it really plateaued quick. You know, there's only so many people looking
Yeah.
for it.
Hold on, I'm asking a question to. I guess I could just ask it out loud.
Justin
Uh,
says, "No, I'm
to
just a RC dude that's a Packer fan."
Well, I was responding. I was asking Ash a question, and he said he's got those Chanquish axles. They came with 30 teeth diff gears, so I bought 33 tooth gears for the rear. And if I want more of a drive, I have another set for the front that are 27 tooth. I was wondering if he bought them for Vanquish axles and they just fit in the Chanquish. Because that's the only thing from a Vanquish that I haven't tried in the aftermarket axles.
Well, they're all
So
based off of axial axles, so it's they're basically using axial internals
yeah,
because that's the Vanquish
okay,
axles are based on what AR-44s or what were they called? Axial AR-44s,
yeah,
AR-45, something like that. That's kind of what their axles are based off of, except that they got the offset pumpkin on the front axle, you know, because it's a panhard versus a four link.
yeah. I ended up buying a crawler lot couple weeks ago, and it had a bunch of old original Vanquish stuff, and I showed you some of it.
Uh huh.
But I got a couple of the old 3 gear super shafty
Oh, the
bulletproof transmissions.
bomb proof, bomb
Bomb
proof.
proof.
Yep.
Bomb proof, yes, sorry. But they had the cool bubble logo, and I like that bubble logo. I think that bubble logo is good
Mm-hmm.
looking. But but in there I got some rock jocks also, and I was trying to figure out how to piece one of them together because I really would like to use a rock jock axle. I got this bag of rock jock parts, so
Well, rock jocks are axial internals also.
are they? Okay.
Because they're supposed to be a direct replacement, basically. Those are like upgrade parts for like the SCX10 2, I think it is.
Okay. Because I one of the things that I'm missing is a diff cover for a rock jock axle, and I looked on Vanquish's website and I didn't see it. So
No, it's high. They don't really sell diff covers anymore. They did a while back, but I got to answer Ash here. Hey, John, did you end up doing a show on your finished Origin buggy? Well, Ash, my Origin buggy is not finished. So we are waiting on graphics, which has been a sore spot. My graphics guy has been very busy, and I'm not a graphics person. So we're waiting on graphics. And Rob has just printed me an engine and interior. So I'm sure I'll be getting that within the next week or so in my hands. But the H10 Origin is still at the graphics shop. So I don't even have a vehicle to put it into. And then Rob could say, what about your optic? Well, my graphics guy has my optic also. So I have no H10s at my house right now.
okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Will the I know the interior will work on the new optic origin, the H10 origin, right? This interior is the same
For both
as
the optic and the H10. Well, the
what
origin
about
and the optic,
what
yes.
about okay, what about the engine? Does it bolt up the
It's
same?
supposed to be, that's basically kind of like from the dashboard back. They should be just about the same, the optic and the origin. Where it changes is kind of like where the panels mount. A lot of it is the same except the panel mounting. So the front with that
Okay.
having that unique hood and fenders with the hidden mounting hardware, whereas the optic doesn't have fenders. It's integrated with the
Hmm.
hood and the side panels. So it's kind of like from the dashboard back, they're very similar. It's still not quite exactly mirror images, but it's more of the front end and it's mostly just mounting. So you can't mount the same body panels on either one of them. So, but all
Yeah.
that interior stuff, all that stuff in the middle should be fine.
Because I know that the engine replaces the radio box, so I just didn't know if the radio boxes between the two were the same.
It
That
should
would be
be.
the way to tell.
These old
Okay.
flapping lips is back. Hello, sir. How are you?
I don't know. That's one of the things I was, you know, I wasn't sure, but I was like, well, he's got an H10, optic and a H10 origin. So if you can't use it for one, you can use it for the other, and if you whatever. So Justin says we should do a build off. Okay,
Yes.
Justin. Well, give us some guidelines? What should be the build off
We're
guidelines?
supposed to entertain them. They're not supposed to entertain us. We're supposed to be the creative ones.
But I thought that we were supposed to bring them into the
They
world
they
with
get to
us.
judge us and be critical of the end product.
Oh, you're gonna win. You're
They
gonna
get to be
win
they get
every
to be
time.
dream squashers. No.
I
Oh
suck.
Lord.
I have not had much luck. Like my painting and my detailing is just here lately.
Brian
I don't know. I
Sherwood
don't know what's
checking
wrong.
in. Hello, Brian.
Oh, flapping. I am so jealous. I love Cocoa Pebbles. Oh, I love Cocoa Pebbles. Hey, Cocoa Pebbles and vanilla Greek yogurt, the best. The bomb. uh, whatever platform you guys pick.
See,
Okay,
that's
Justin, but
don't
okay, I
you're.
see. But I
It's
mean,
up
should
to
we do
us to come
scale or
up.
should we do comp or
Well, that's for us to decide. We just have to scratch an itch that we both have. I think we should
I'm
both do.
scratching. I'm
I think
scratching.
we should
I'm
both
scratching.
do a VS410 Leaf build off because
Okay.
you haven't done yours yet, and I haven't touched. Well, no, you have done yours, haven't you? Or did you? I can't keep
it's
track of your
uh
builds.
it's 80%. Yeah. It's 80%.
Okay, then I
It's
just have to catch up,
it's yeah.
which will be about 3 months.
I
Um,
I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. Oh yeah, I like that dig. Oh, that got you got me happy now. Thank you, Justin. Justin, you rock.
VS410 build as a platform. Okay,
Okay.
so
Yeah, I have been building a lot lately.
we need something like this anyways to get us re-engaged. Um,
Yeah,
so VS410 Leafer
yeah, I definitely.
because we both
So you
have.
haven't seen?
I haven't even opened the package. Here, that's something to do. I'm going to give you full screen. I'm going to go get my
Oh
mail.
God,
It's the Rob show now.
oh God. It doesn't need to be the Rob show. Rob's gonna screw this up.
Yeah, but I need to go
Okay,
grab a
guys.
beer. I need a beer.
Okay, everybody. John is left. He is going to go get adult beverages.
Hi,
What are we
dog.
gonna do?
What's up, dog?
Okay, and there is no winner. It's just cool content. No, Justin, no. Okay, John's gone. Everybody vote for me. I don't care how awesome John's is. How awesome would it be if I won the build off on John's channel? That would be kind of cool. So, Justin Keller, Robbie? What's Robbie? Oh, okay. I can't pay attention to the screen. So, what do y'all want to see? What do y'all want to do? I need to know. We got to do something here. Okay, quick. Everybody log off. Log off.
Oh,
Everybody
Lordy.
quick. Run. Oh, he's back. We got to stop. We
Where's
got to
my
be good.
headphones?
Teacher's back in the classroom. I'm sitting here looking at the screen, me on full screen, and you can see everything behind me. God, I have a lot of junk.
Oh, man. So, I
Look at
have.
that greatness over there.
I'm gonna disappoint my mother and drink on the
Whoa,
air.
whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing?
I am pouring beer into a frosted mug.
Show us a cool truck you have near. Okay. Here you go, Justin. This is a Bouncing Betty V5
And
chassis.
it's not a
Leaf.
trail snail.
No, it is not. It is a Ford. The trail snails are Toyotas. This is my very first leaf truck I ever built. I used clone axles, aftermarket axles. It does have pricey shocks. I 3D printed the entire body.
Oh
I
my
did
god.
the interior myself. Um, I did the sliders. I mounted everything. I had the wheels. This actually started because of the wheels. I found the wheels on Marketplace and I thought they were the coolest darn wheels. Oh, look at the mess you made. Oh, John, you made a giant mess.
That's a little too cold. Or it's too small
But
of a
yeah,
mug. I don't know.
so this is and I named it Still Trying. It is a very capable little leaf truck. Man, it's a great little truck. It's probably one of my favorites. Not just because it was my first, but because I can take it anywhere, anytime, and it always does great. It's got a outrunner, TGH transfer case,
Oh
and
my God.
Northwest Scalers forward motor mount,
Fuck.
and a Reese servo.
God.
I think that's about it. Look
Fucking.
at you. You're making a big old mess, aren't you?
This is why we don't do these things while I'm while we're filming. It never works out.
No, never does. Let's see. Oh, here you go, Justin. Yes, Econoline. Exactly. All right, Justin. Here's another one. So this is my version of a low CG comp style truck.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it is a hard body. It is a Datsun.
Fucking beer everywhere.
Good old spec wheels. What are these? F9s. I made the rear bumper. This is
Oh
actually
God.
the very, very first bumper I ever made. Um, I think this is a Leaf Merchant front bumper. It's got a
Uh,
2-in-1 with a forward motor mount and a TGH transfer case with 15% overdrive. And it is. I haven't run this one yet. I also it has
oh
what are they?
God.
Anti foams, John. What are they called? The
Yeah.
3D printed
Yeah.
foams.
Anti foams.
Anti foams. It has
Yep.
anti foams in it.
Yep.
So I'm
Do
kind of,
you,
I kind
do you
of,
remember
oh, and
which?
I
Do
got
you
the
remember which kind,
Vanquish.
or did you print your own?
I did not, I don't know. These were black, TPU, printed. They're not silicone. Trying to remember.
Oh my
Crap, I
gosh.
cannot remember who did them. I got them from somebody, and he's like, "Here, try them. You'll love them." And I put them in this truck, and the reason that I put them with this truck, this has the Vanquish tires. The what are these?
Falcons
The
or
no VXT2s. These have to be the softest tire. Look at that. I just can't get over how soft these tires are. They just, man, they're soft. I'm so, I've taken these tires off of 3 trucks that I've parted out and gotten rid of, and I keep saving them because they're so soft that you can see them crinkle like a drag tire does leaving the
right?
line. It is, oh, they are soft.
That was
Oh,
actually
and
that was
deluxe
actually some of
shocks.
the complaints about those.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
they're
Why would
they're
you complain about a?
not. Well, that's back to the old thing. Everybody drives on different surfaces, So for some, it's
Yeah.
does. Oh my God, it's fucking beer everywhere.
Hey, hey, you told me I wasn't allowed to cuss, and I'm not allowed to use words that might get us in trouble, like kilo. I
Yeah.
kept saying that word last time, and you kept telling
Oh
me to
yeah.
quit it.
Yeah, you can swear. You just can't talk about drugs.
I wasn't talking about drugs.
Anything that
I
could
was talking
be
about 3D
perceived as
printer
drugs.
films.
Let's say that way.
Oh, well. Let's see. Oh, here you go, Justin. Here's another one that I really like. And my granddaughter loves this one too. This is one of her favorites. And she's my granddaughter's 5, but she comes in this room. She calls this my hobby lobby room, and she comes in here. She plays with the helicopters. She gets stuff off the shelves or whatever, and then she leaves me little surprises. Look at this, John. So this is the little paper that came with her Cocomelon action figure,
Sure.
and she put it inside my crawler so the guy would have something to look at when he's stuck. That's what she told me. When he gets stuck, he needs something to look at, and this will give him something to look at.
Everything needs a
I
lady's
just found
touch.
it in.
Everything needs a lady's touch.
This is my uh,
Oh, that's the RC Speedy
LX.
chassis, right? Oh no, LX. You're right. I forgot.
It's LX chassis, Tamiya body, Sand Scorcher body, and
Tamiya.
then
Yep.
VP Curry F9s. My Chico wheels. These are my Chico wheels. I bought these off of his auction thing one night.
God. Beer.
It's gonna take you a week to clean that mess up.
No, I just gotta get the dog in here.
Oh,
Then the dog will sleep really good tonight.
is that what you give your dog? You give your dog beer?
No, I actually don't. We had friends. They gave their dog. Well, let me put it this way. He always drank beer by the can. He would just leave like a couple sips in it, and he'd throw it on the ground. And the dog was a dachshund, you know, the little wiener dog.
Uh huh.
And he would tip
Yep.
the can. And his name was Fritz. Fritz would tip the can over and just sit there and suck the bottom out of every can. So everybody would just start throwing their cans on the ground, and the dog would just sit there and empty cans all night.
Yeah. We used to
Justin,
go to the.
I will in a minute, Justin. After I get through my mail call here, I did a. Rob sent me a bunch of stuff that I asked for a while back, and I never opened the package even. Rob gets frustrated with me when I don't deal with stuff immediately, and this has been sitting here for 2 months probably. So,
Yep. So
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 tell me what
John, I'll
this.
tell you a
Tell me
quick
what this
story.
is, Rob. I don't even remember.
Okay, that's a battery tray.
Oh,
It perf it holds a. I didn't. You didn't know that was coming. That was just a givey. So that holds a 3S 1500 perfectly.
that's what I run. I run
I
3S
know.
1500s. And what's okay? Here is VS410 leaf springs. That's for a,
That's the complete kit. Yeah, that's a conversion kit.
and
VS
that's
410 Leaf.
the cross member. Is that for the
Uh,
front?
yeah, that's the front. That's the front one. And you may have to tweak on them a little. I had to tweak on mine a little bit. Yes, that is the front one.
Okay.
Your camera's a little high.
Well, that's because I've got it set up to focus on my head. So when you put something in front of it, it kind of freaks out and doesn't know what to do.
Yeah,
So there's
those are
the
the
shock
towers
mount.
that go with. So the triangle ones are the front.
And what brand is this? This VS410 kit? I forgot.
Twisted Fab.
Oh, Twisted Fabco. There we go. Twisted
Yep, Twisted
Fabco.
Fabco.
Ah, ah.
That stuff's
This,
like gold right now, man.
yeah, he cannot keep up. I mean, good for him. He cannot keep up with production or with demand. That's good. I'm glad to see him
Well,
successful.
and I'm going to say this to everybody: it's worth the wait. Be patient. The guy gets bombarded all day, every day. You got to give him a chance, and man, he is.
Or
It's well worth it, and he's a good dude.
and preface it also with that he's a one man show. So the more you interrupt him,
100% one.
the less
Yep.
he can get done in a day. So when
Yeah.
you're dealing with these smaller guys, cut them a little slack. You know,
Well, and maybe do a little bit of homework to see what the process is. There is a process to getting the springs, and if you follow the process, it's not that bad. But it requires you to do a little bit of homework, a little bit of reaching out and digging around to find out how to do it properly. And once you do it, it's oh man, I have twisted fab springs on just about every leaf truck I own. I love them. He is the
so what are
bomb
these for?
diggity.
Monster trucks?
No.
What are they for?
Those are axle stands so that you don't have to set your crawlers on their wheels, but yet you can still have them. So
How is that going to work when
on
my
a link,
crawlers? How's that going to work when my crawler sits in the front seat of my truck all day?
well, they're not.
I don't stuff
I
doesn't
just know
fit.
that I have some tires that get flat. They go
Oh,
flat. So I put
I'm sure they do. I get you. Yep.
you know, so I made a bunch of those. I sent you some. What else did I? I don't even remember what all I sent you. It was a bunch of stuff.
There's a package here that
Where are your
says
shocks?
logo.
Logo.
Oh, it's the skid
Yes. So that is
and
my skid. That allows you to put a VFD and my battery tray. That will allow you to put a VFD into any Northwest Scalar design chassis. Your camera's going wonky.
That's for my trail duster project, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the only Northwest Scalar truck you have is your trail duster.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know.
Unless you haven't told me that you
I
bought another one.
Dude, I don't even know what fucking day it is. This has been a hell of a month.
Yes, it has.
Oh, now it's finally
I get
liquid,
it.
not a frosty frozen mess. Ah. What What of my monster trucks is the most interesting that I have here, Rob? Because I don't have any crawlers here.
Well, I like the Outcast truck. Don't you have an Outcast?
I think you mean overkill, maybe.
Overkill. Yes. No, that's not it. That's not the one I like.
Okay.
That's the one I like.
The pink one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go. Papa. There we go. So what's unique about this truck is the
You're gonna
company.
take full screen.
I already did while you were looking away. The company's
All
name
right.
is
I'll be right
Freestyle
back.
RC. And Freestyle RC made a lot of 1/10 scale monster truck parts. And he made some unique chassis that were based on the original monster trucks that these are modeled after. So that pink chassis, that version of Overkill had a pink chassis. Overkill ran for many seasons with different chassis and that kind of stuff. So uh, they also made a Gravedigger specific chassis. So basically, they make chassis and drive lines. So this chassis is based on one of the Gravedigger chassis. And if you see the header back there, there is a rear 3D printed engine there, a supercharged engine in that. And so this chassis is like one of three. And
Justin asked if it's a metal chassis.
yes, it's laser cut aluminum. Then another Kirk Dabney truck, which was Nightmare, which was one of the last front engine monster trucks. So another chassis that's designed specifically to mimic the original. So that's what's unique about these
Yeah.
trucks. And RC Freestyle, like I said, a lot of these chassis, he only made like 3 of them. So some of these are super rare as far as that. I don't know about collectability because not as many people collect these things. So will they ever be
No.
worth a lot of money? Probably not, but they are pretty unique. And then I'll show this one again because this one's got a cool backstory. So this is another version of Overkill, one of the last versions of Overkill before I think they retired that truck. And this specific one and the real one got destroyed in a really bad accident. But this chassis was built by Bari. I forgot how to say his last name, but he's the real driver for Zombie. Bari Maswar, or whatever his name is. Trying not to butcher his name, but anyways, he made a couple chassis, and so he made like 3 or 4 of these overkill chassis, and these are super unique also. Quad shock, it's got a rear engine in there, but all of these, none of them came with bodies. They were all these guys were chassis builders, so it's up to you to kind of build the rest of it. Basically, they sold chassis, and you made the rest of it happen. So this is another
Yeah.
super rare truck. These I've the last time I seen one, like I said, there's like 3 of them. The last time I seen one of these sell, a completed truck sold for 3 grand, and that was years ago. So have they appreciated? I don't know, but that's kind of what the going rate is when you see one that's fully assembled.
Yeah, I like the pink frame. I like that pink chassis truck, and that one that you had earlier with no body on it.
Where's the best place to run Monster Jam? What do you mean by that? Mean to race monster trucks? RC? You said you're in Wisconsin. The guy that designed most of these the RC freestyle chassis, Josh Zimmerman, I think it is. He's got a hobby store in
Yeah.
Wisconsin, and he actually races monster trucks at his hobby store. So, not that everything in Wisconsin is next door to each other, because Wisconsin's a pretty big state, but that would be one place to race monster trucks at 1/10 scale. We had, I don't know, it kind of comes and goes here in Minnesota. I don't know if there's anybody really running it right now. I think the guys we used to drive with. Where's the best? Oh,
He don't drive his trucks. He don't drive none of his trucks.
yeah,
John
these
John is as bad
those.
as me.
Well, I have a pile of trucks that I drive, and then I have a pile of shelf queens. And at this location, I only have some shelf queens. My main studio, which we call the farm, that's finally getting internet, and that's where all my drivers are, and that's where I do most of my building. I wanted to get these live streams off the ground, and I didn't have internet there, and I really needed a better internet connection. So I'm starting to do these from the house. But next Thursday, I'm supposed to have internet connected at the farm studio. So I will be able to start broadcasting from my happy place. But yeah, my runners, the ones that I drive, Justin, I've got 3 LMTs, Losi LMT 10s. One's the new carbon fiber one, and 2 is the first version. And then I also have that dude out of California, I forgot his name. He builds the Warpath chassis. I have a Warpath 4, which that's a really nice truck. That handles really well. That one I put a bomb proof uh transmission 3 gear from him. What's his face? What's the name of the bomb proof
Super
guy?
shafty.
Super Shafty. Yeah. Super Shafty. That's got a bomb proof in it. And it's got LMT axles. Yeah, so it's the axial 3 gear tranny with LMT axles. And then the Warpath chassis with does it use Losi shocks? I forgot what shocks, but it's really nice truck. It handles really well. It's got great suspension. But like I said,
Yeah.
that's the driver. And the drivers, man, they get new bodies constantly.
Pricey for carbon Gravedigger. Huh. Go check out my YouTube and you'll see a primal digger. I had one of the limited edition primal diggers on and it's on my YouTube channel.
Yeah,
It's
what was the retail on
yeah.
those? Were they 6 grand or 5 something? What were they? The retail
Uh I think the retail on them was 45.90 44.99 for
for the
the
standard one?
limited edition.
Oh, the limited one,
No, for the standard one was less.
four
It
grand or
was like
something.
3,500. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
4 grand, 35 4.
and they're
And then the
considered
limited edition
fifth
was,
scale or fourth scale, or what are they considered?
I think they're fifth. We talked about it before. It's 80 pounds of holy
Right.
crap. And I
Yeah.
converted, so mine originally came with, even it came with the crappy motor that they give you, Then the guy before me put the 80cc uh, the limited edition anodized Gravedigger motor in it. It was just too god awful loud, so I ripped all that out and I converted it to electric. I went Hobbywing and 12S. I used to run that thing on 12S. It took two 6S 10,000 milliamps battery packs. They were bricks. They were literally the size of a brick.
Were they
And
like
it
packs
took
for
two of
commercial
those.
drones or something, or don't you?
No, they were Z's. You could get them on Amazon.
Oh,
It was
really?
$250. Yeah, it was $250 for the pair. And they were I bought them on Amazon. In fact, the first set that I bought, they went bad. The first set were bad when I got them. One of them had three dead cells. I plugged it in, and it only had three live cells. I tried to jump start it, and it just got hot. And so I was like, nope, not messing with that. And so I sent them back to Amazon, and they sent me another set, and those were
I
fine.
was going to ask you about this. I had when I was charging up to go meet up with the guys last Saturday. My 3S 1500 milliamp would not top off. It it was on the charger for like 60, 70, 80, 90 minutes. And it was, it was barely put anything into it, but it wouldn't reach the voltage or whatever it wanted to see before it would shut off. Is that how they
Hmm.
fail? Or is that how they go bad? Or don't you, or
It just you may need to do a balance cycle on it to kind of get it's trying to get everything to equalize, and you may just have one cell that's just out of
oh,
its range, and
sure.
so I I just pull them off as long as it's above 4.18 volts. I run it, and then just remember that once you discharge, once you've run that battery, go ahead and run a balance cycle on it once it's already run down.
Okay.
A discharged battery will do a balance cycle faster than a charged battery. So, and what I don't know, what charger do you use?
Uh shoot. Is it ProTech? It's got
Okay.
it's got two sides. Um it can charge two at
Yeah.
once.
I use for my anytime I have a,
It's got a bunch of settings on it. You know what I mean? It's not a basic one. It's
yeah.
so I can wake it.
So I have a
I can wake up batteries that are been overly discharged and stick it on the
yeah.
nickel metal hydrate setting and just kind of burp them a little bit, and then they come back. And
I have a high tech that I keep on the bench that does most of my charging. But if I need to balance one that it's gotten out of whack like that, I throw it either on my Spectrum or on my Hyperion. My Hyperion is an old, very old charger, but it works really well because it doesn't have a lot of the checks, a lot of the safety features.
right.
So it doesn't try to save itself. So well, hey,
I
here you go. We were talking about it earlier.
is that oh
That's
that's
my
your
410
VS4.
leafer.
Oh, you cheated. You're already that far. Here's mine.
So my fenders, I figured it out. My fenders are gonna have to be cut that much.
Oh, that's not bad though.
Did you notice the bed? Look at the bed. It's been bobbed. That's my first bob. I've never bobbed a bed before.
Looks more like a Carl, but
It could be a Carl.
you didn't
Inside
comp it.
joke.
You didn't comp it though. You didn't narrow it. It's just shortened.
No, no, it's
All right.
it's still stock width. But I did bob it, and I found a neat way to do this. I'm going to do a video on my YouTube to show my. I found a neat way to really. It makes a very clean bob, and I did it all for the bumper. I didn't do it for the nookie. I did it for the bumper.
Uh huh.
So,
Wow, and you got real
but she's
H.
got a lot of travel.
Are those real HD 44s on there? Not cheap ones.
Yes, sir.
Wow, you got a lot of money in
I
that
went
one.
all out on this one. Yeah, look at the shocks. Can you see them?
I I have a hard time falling in love with those because I think they have a specific application, and I don't know. To me they look like they should all be on UDRs, but
Well, they're actually too small for UDRs,
I
but
understand
I
that.
get it.
It doesn't look like a comp rig, trail rig shock to me, but
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. I've got two sets of them. I spent a lot of money for them.
oh gosh,
I
yes.
waited for them. I'd be damned if I'm gonna leave them in a drawer. They're too cool.
Mm-hmm.
They leak like a sieve.
Oh, do they? I figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, all shocks are. Yeah, shocks are shocks. Just leave it at
Yeah.
that before we start bad mouthing every shock company.
You
Although,
know, I'm gonna say this, and I'm probably gonna regret it, but man, I like Pricey, and I would pay extra if he raised his prices. They
I
work really good.
I don't have a problem with them either, and I kind of like them. He just puts super thick oil in them, and they're sprung both ways. And I standard shocks, I just don't like them anymore. You know, I think I need to if I'm going to keep running standard shocks on stuff, I need to shorten them up quite a bit. But I do like them internally sprung and sprung both directions on the Prices.
Yeah. I it's
Because
I fuss.
every time I drive stuff with regular shocks, especially like Vanquish stock shocks, it's like, oh god, I got to get rid of these things. They just don't behave
Yeah.
the way I want them to.
Oh wait, here. Now that you can kind of see it in the background, watch this. We're gonna move it this direction, I think, and then watch this. We'll put it up here so everybody can see how she looks, all stretched out. There we go. It'll be in the background, looking all sexy.
There you go.
Can you see it? Can you see it back there?
Yes, yes, yep.
She's so sexy.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually outsourced a project for this truck, and I hadn't told you. I hadn't told anybody about it. I just went
You
and did it.
paid somebody to do work for you,
Yes,
or you traded?
paid cash
Oh,
money.
okay.
Yep. I I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I will tell you it came from Kenny's Custom Crap. That's what I'll tell you. That's enough. And it's not. I already have a Kenny's anti rat bar, so it's something totally different.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, you did talk something about this. Now I can't remember the details other than you were talking about paint. Yeah. Okay.
can't
You
remember what it is.
no, you divulged some of it. I don't know if you divulged all of it, but you did. Yeah, something. Mike's here.
Well,
Mike's my neighbor. Mike's my buddy. Mike's my friend.
yeah.
Finally got done with chores. I'm afraid to know what that is, Mike. Did you feed the squirrels? I don't know. Chores on a Friday. Or walking the dog?
Hey, I got a question for you. Now that your buddy Mike's here,
Oh boy.
so
You're gonna use Mike as a
on my
truthometer? You use Mike as a
well,
truthometer?
okay, no, but I mean he can kind of weigh in because I know that he's up there by you and he crawls with you. So
At our
I know
age,
you guys don't.
everybody crawls.
Yeah. So do you have any hard body trucks other than your trail duster?
Me personally? No, remember I got that FJ70 project I never finished. That
Oh,
killer body FJ70 pickup.
FJ or the LC 70.
Oh, LC70, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so if you notice, my truck doesn't have doors on it, and the reason it doesn't have doors on it is because I have the doors sitting in the on my workbench, and I'm trying to decide if I want to cut them into trail doors. So I'm
Eh,
wondering.
you've done that already.
No, I haven't.
I thought your yellow Forerunner was having trail doors.
No, it has tube doors. It doesn't have
Oh,
trail doors.
gotcha.
I was actually going to cut the factory doors like you see a lot of guys doing, where they cut them into trail
Right,
doors.
like the Marvin crawler. The
Yeah, because that's since I bobbed the bed, it's kind of got more of a trail only truck look. So I was just wondering what you thought. Would that be cool or not cool?
I don't really like those chop down doors. I mean, I've seen them in real life, and I understand why they have them. I just don't like that look.
Yeah, and I'm on the fence. I can't decide. So I may have an extra set of doors. I'm looking for them right now. That's why I haven't cut or done anything with those yet. Is because I don't want to cut them because once you cut them, they're cut. They're done. But if I can find another set of doors,
Right.
then I might do them just to try it. So I don't know.
So Justin wants to know what graphic kit I'm doing on my optic, and we talked about that a few minutes ago, but I'll say it again. I have a graphics guy that I use, and he's extremely busy right now. And I have been patiently waiting for my turn to get my graphics done for my H10. And so my
And your
H10,
Ripper,
yeah, well, no, my optic and my Origin. The Ripper's the Mopar Performance one, remember?
is it done?
You've seen my Ripper, the Mopar Performance
I
one.
know, but I thought that was. I thought I didn't realize they had been installed. I thought that was just a computer generated picture.
Wow, you really haven't been on Facebook, have you? Let's see.
Oh no, no, I haven't.
Dude, it was, I've been showing pictures for months.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm sorry.
let's see if I can find something that's kind of easy to find. I don't know. Holy smokes. But
No,
yeah, Justin,
see,
I'm waiting on graphics. It's I have the livery in mind how I want to do it. I have everything figured out. I'm just not the guy that could put it to vinyl, so I have to use a sign shop that does vinyl graphics and stuff to put it on the computer and cut it out and all that kind of stuff. So that's why it's not done. And these are moments where it starts to push me to like, you know what? You need to figure out how to do that stuff yourself so you're not always a slave to other people because it's not something that I couldn't figure out if I wanted to. I mean, I know that, but
so your buddy Mike said, I have a RC four-wheel drive Marlin crawler FMS FJ40 and building a VS410 RC four-wheel drive 87 pickup using a shrink RC mounts. Um, and I just was asking if he liked the idea of trail doors or full doors or tube doors. I guess there's three options. There's stock doors, trail doors, and tube doors.
sure.
So
I have never seen Mike's RC four-wheel drive trucks. He's never brought them out. I mean, I know he has them, but I've never seen him bring them out.
oh, he said trail doors. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Marvin comes with trail doors.
The Marlin does?
Yeah,
It's not a Marvin, it's a Marlin,
yeah,
like a
whatever.
fish.
He's dead. He can't complain, right?
Yeah. True.
Oh lordy, how do I
I have
find
another 3D print project I'm about to start.
involving or in and around what?
Well, so you know I built the modern version of a Tamiya Bruiser, right? Did I ever show you
My
that one?
yes,
So it's an original Tamiya Bruiser Toyota body on a modern linked LCG chassis. So it's a Bruiser that can do everything to today's standards. So a while back, a guy I met did a comical Blazing Blazer body set that he could 3D print. Well, I think I have found the file to do the original Tamiya Blazing Blazer in a 12-inch wheelbase. So I'm thinking that I may do a printed body over a tubular optic chassis,
Are you
like a plastic.
are you seeing mine on the screen now?
Not yet. It's the lag.
What? Still?
Yeah.
Oh my
Hold on.
gosh.
I know it lags bad. There it is. Okay, see, I didn't realize that that is done.
Yeah.
So I thought that was just his
No.
proof that he
No.
sent to you.
I did have proofs
Okay.
that look similar to this, yes, but these are how it's sitting right now at the farm.
Okay.
So yeah, everybody, that's my Ripper. That's number 67, Vanquish Ripper. I bought it from a guy locally and he needed some money and then he ended up buying a Origin back from me. But so yeah, that's my Ripper how it sits right now.
Man, that looks good, John.
Yeah, I like it. I that needs an interior in the worst way. That thing really needs an interior because it would hide so much stuff in there. Because it's got a high mounted light, it's got a bumper light, it's got two headlights, it's got a rear facing red light. You know, so you got a spaghetti mess in there. It needs an interior just to kind of cover up that area. I mean, I do have the bomber interior, the Axle bomber interior that fits in there, but of course it's not very detailed.
Yeah.
Robert Pez, I believe his name is. I think he's got a full interior, and I think he's the only one that owns that print. So I don't think there's a. Thanks, Mike. I don't know if there's anybody else that makes a Ripper interior.
Hmm. I wouldn't mind taking a swing at that. Got a question. So I see something on your truck, and I think we've talked about it before. Didn't the overhead light bars weren't there a problem with the LEDs, and you could rebuild them?
Yeah, I mean they're basically aluminum housings. You could gut them and put them back together. I mean they're very serviceable. You know. Same with
Hmm.
the headlights. I mean, there's just aluminum housing. The light part is the least expensive part of the whole thing. You know, you're buying the
Well,
housings more than anything.
because when I picked up that vintage Vanquish that's got all the vintage Vanquish stuff, I have a couple light bars.
Oh, I'd be interested in those if you want to get rid of them.
Hmm. Well, I'm kind of interested in them too if I can get them to work.
Oh, the the big light bars are full voltage. The headlights are like 4 volts or 3.5 volts or something. So don't ever put
Yeah.
full voltage to headlights, Vanquish headlights. They need a resistor
Well,
pack.
and the overhead light seems like that it's just a
That'll run off
rubber
a
coated.
that'll run off a 3S. No, it's not rubber
Yeah.
coated. They're aluminum housings.
No. The housing is aluminum, but the LED strip that's in it has
Oh,
got that jelly rubber stuff on it. It looks like that.
oh,
It
to
looks
help
like that
in
stuff you buy in bulk, and then you
yeah,
cut it.
strip tape or strip light or yeah, what light strip, light tape or whatever.
Light strip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
Okay.
a
And
Ripper
the only reason
2.
that yeah, the
I
only
don't.
reason that I ask is I'm thinking about taking some of the RGB light strips and rebuilding that Vanquish with the ability to control the lights, do different colors in that
Justin,
light bar.
that's my Optic H10 or Ripper 2 or whatever. That's the way it's sitting right now. Minus graphics, minus interior, minus motor. Rob's sending me that stuff shortly, so I'll have the interior and the motor probably in the week or so, but I still probably won't have graphics yet. So those are Spec RC wheels with Proline BF Goodrich crawlers, I think it is. Yeah.
I love
Mine,
those wheels.
I do too. And I don't ever see them. I never see those for sale. It's like, was almost tempted because he opened the books again. I was almost tempted to buy another set of these because you never find them in the wild, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
That's a good looking wheel.
yeah,
Imagine doing that in the bronze gray combo like we talked about before.
yeah. I mean, that would look good with a gray wheel and a bronze ring, even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Justin, it still has the Vanquish shocks on it.
Are you gonna put Are you gonna put Prices on it, or are you gonna leave it?
I asked Steve about that a long time ago. Are you going to make them? I says, I'll help you out as much as you can if you need information on them. And he's like, well, how long are they? And I'm like, I go, dude, Vanquish, if it's a straight axle, it's 90. And if it's a portal, it's 80. So they're 90 mil.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he got a lot of requests for them, but I haven't heard back from him on them. So I don't know where he's doing.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Thanks, Mike.
I dig them. What did you do with your stock wheels?
They're on my next Origin build.
Oh, okay.
Remember I told you I was going to do a spin-off of my optic or my H10 Origin and do a VS410 Origin that kind of mimics it and looks similar theme.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's got the H10 Origin wheels on that chassis, and that's another gray build. So it's gray axles and stuff. So, and I haven't painted the body for that one yet because I keep worrying that the graphics guy might flake out and leave me hanging, and I didn't want to commit to it too much and not have all my bases covered. So
You know, it surprises me that he isn't more Johnny on the spot since you keep bringing him more and more stuff. It's like you're bringing more and more
dude,
business.
and every time I go in there, we talk for like an hour and a half and go down a rabbit hole of all the different hobbies that we overlap on. Vintage cars, Lionel trains, RC. That's the only reason why he deals with this, because he used to be big into RC. And he also used to be a lot lizard like me doing work for dealerships and the used car lots. He used to do vinyl stripes on cars that weren't selling as well. You know, you have the stripped down models. Remember, they'd have like, like Ford would have a stripped down F-150 on the lot just to show you that you could buy the entry one at whatever, $3,000,
Hmm.
$4,000 left than the standard package next one up. And they'd always put stripe kits on that stuff to make it a little bit more palatable. So he did a lot of that kind of work. He put stripe kits on stuff, and then he just got so busy he started doing more of the custom design graphics. So then he shut that down to open a sign shop. And then, of course, a lot of his customers carried over to that. But
Yeah.
he
We
was
used to
telling,
have a place around here that did that.
he's probably driving it. Yeah, who knows? That's the other thing that bugs me a little bit. It's like, I've got, oh boy, the H10 Origin is, what was it, 3,500 bucks or whatever. So he's got that. And he's got my optic that's all built, which is close to $1,000. So yeah, he's got $4,500 in RCs that have been sitting there for. Every time I go in, oh, don't worry, they're locked up. Okay.
And it'd be nice if they were at home.
Well, when he had the Ripper, I'm like, yeah, you can have it for a week. That's it.
Yeah.
And that was
Get your
during,
measurements and be done.
yeah,
Yep.
that was during the off season. So he was actually pretty quick with that one. So, but yeah, he's had the optic, I think, since December. Dude,
Yep.
uh, and I'm surprised he didn't bail out on me and just say, man, I can't get to it. Cause that's usually what happens. Once you go in there one too many, well, actually, I just probably haven't gone there one too many times yet, where they're just like, you know what, I'm just not going to get to this, and then they bail out on you. So I don't know. It's probably been 3 weeks since I was in there last. So, I'm going to end up making vinyl graphics on my own at some point. Cause
I wish.
I wanted to get a Cricut cause just to do the masking, to do the vinyl mask for
Yeah.
painting. So it's like, that's the girlfriend texting.
Uh-oh. You in trouble? I'm getting ready to have to go.
Yeah. I'm sitting in a puddle of beer, so this isn't very fun. Yeah, Mike,
I get it.
you missed the beer mess I created. You'll have to go back and watch that. I poured a
Yeah, it
cold
was a
beer into a frosty mug and it just started overflowing.
yep. It went nuts. So
Yeah. Reminded me of Bob and Doug McKenzie and Strange Brew. Have you ever seen that movie?
no.
You haven't seen Strange Brew? Oh my gosh.
Uh-uh.
Um, did you ever watch the show SCTV, Second City Television? It was kind of
No.
like Saturday Night Live, um, skit comedy. John Candy started there, for example. Rick Moranis, who was like in Ghostbusters and Honey I Shrunk the Kid and Kids,
Yeah.
and Dave Thomas. Um, what was Dave big for? Not Dave wasn't as big. Catherine O'Hara, which was the mom in Home Alone.
Yeah.
They all started there. Just like Belushi started on Saturday Night Live. These people all started on Second City Television. So
Yeah.
they have their own characters that they
Jim
have.
Carrey too, I think, right?
No, he was on Living Color.
I know, but I think he started. If you go watch the documentary of him, he's Canadian and he started somewhere like that. I
Well,
want to say
second,
that it was Second City
I
or it
thought
was something
second,
like
I
that.
thought Second City stood for Chicago, because like New York was City One and Second City was Chicago.
Trying to
Because
remember.
because
No, the Growlings. He started in the Growlings. Sorry, sorry.
because
I've got it confused.
I think Dan Aykroyd also had started with Second City Television. It was part of that also. But anyway, so they have their reoccurring skits, just like Saturday Night Live. So they have reoccurring characters. And one of the ones was called the McKenzie Brothers, and that's Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis. And there's Ash. If you watch this later, Ash, you got to watch. Ash probably knows what it is, but it was supposed to be like your stereotypical Canadians. And they're always wearing parkas. They're always wearing a toque, a stocking cap. And they're always take off, eh? And they had a full length movie. It was kind of like a B movie, but you can find it. It's floating around on YouTube and stuff like that. It's like an hour and a half, something like that. But it's basically it's kind of like Wayne's World. They just elaborate on a skit.
Yeah,
And it's funny. It's Canadian humor type stuff, and a lot of it revolves around beer and and stuff like that, and donuts and
yeah. Hey, Justin. The new bamboo isn't really unless you're buying it for the cutting. I mean, it's cool, but for me, I'm good with just the
it's
X1C. That's what I'm
it's a
running.
bigger plate too, though. It's a little bit bigger.
It it is a bigger plate. That is good. I just don't know if it's worth the extra money for me. That's kind of the point I've been going back and forth on as
Right.
far as
Well, and
buying that for the
that's
cutting and the
right. And the big part of that is because Rob has the carbon, so he already has a fairly modern one.
yeah. I have the X1C right there.
Right. And it sounds like the new one, even the times are coming down. The print times are a little bit quicker. It sounded like.
It's so if you go in on the X1C, there's a lot of little tricks that you can do to really cut down the waste and really speed up the print. I'm to be honest, I'm pretty happy with where it's at. I mean, I'm turning out your interior is like 8 hours, so my old printer that would have been like 2 days. So
Mm.
I've got them. The reliability is there. When you start speeding them up, the reliability on the print kind of goes down a little bit. The quality goes down a little bit. Um, I've kind of found a happy medium for mine, and if I've got a print that's more than about 7 hours, I run it overnight so that way I have the printer free during the day. I don't use the printer. I use it more as a tool. So there's a lot of times during the day that I will come in and I'll sit down and I'll knock out a part real quick that I just need so that I can get moving back on a project. I mean,
Right.
the so yeah, you don't want to print too fast. Yeah, and that's what I was saying, Justin, is you gotta kind of weigh out how fast do you want it to go versus what. Now, if I'm prototyping parts like my skids, man, I was printing those little boogers out like 18 minutes because I didn't care about the quality. I just needed the part
Dimensions.
to
Right.
I
Test
needed
fit.
to be able to physically mount it and test
Test
it.
fitting.
And I
Yeah.
don't know, John, I don't know if I ever showed you this, but you see these rails?
Yep.
Okay, so these rails, I printed these out of carbon fiber just to see what the strength difference is. This little truck weighs 9 pounds. Okay, this is kind of impressive. I mean, it's so I'm very happy with the quality and the strength that I'm getting, and I think really I might get a little faster time. I would get a little bit bigger build plate and a little bit bigger build surface. It would help me with the bodies. I wouldn't have to cut them up into so many pieces. But right now, I don't really think I want to spend what is it, 3 grand, I think, when you buy everything, the AMS, the cutter, the laser,
Yeah,
or
I
the high
think with
power
every I
laser
think
and
with
everything.
everything it was over three something. Let's I let's let's pull that up real quick. Because I'm curious
And I will say this though,
because the reason I wanted to check on
bamboo.
one reason I wanted to check on it was because now that the tariff thing is kind of settled down, I wanted to see if their pricing is kind of back to normal or if they're, you know what I mean, or if they're because the price has kind of shot up there for a little bit.
Yeah. And I'll say, Justin, I don't run bamboo filament. I did some research after talking to some people that run some pretty good sized printer farms that don't run bamboo filament. They actually told me something, and John, you'll be able to appreciate this. In the real world, in the real world of trucks, there's only like three manufacturers of shock absorbers for your Ford, Chevy, Dodge truck. The same company that makes Monroe makes Rancho.
Right,
The
I know
same
that.
company makes
Yep.
Roadmaster. Yeah, makes Rancho. And it's the same way with printer filament. Printer filament, there's only like two real manufacturers. Yeah, and I want to say they're in Hungary or something. It's kind of I think the biggest thing is keeping your filament correct in far as your storage and keeping it dry, and also drying your filament before you use it if you're gonna let it sit for any length of time. My filament never sits around for more than a week or two before I've burned through it. I mean, I print pretty much nonstop. It actually I have to remember to shut it off so that I can do these. So the
So
brand that I use is Sunlu. I use Inland, and I use there's a creative one it's a real high end sparkle metallic brand of filament. It's expensive, but it's pretty awesome looking. So
So looking at their website, it looks like they may have got the prices down to what they were before all the tariff stuff came about. Because you remember they were just releasing this, like, or I shouldn't say that. Reviewers or YouTubers were getting them and doing review videos right as the tariff stuff was coming into play. So they weren't really even fully available yet. So they've got the standard H2D with no support gear
23.
for 19.99,
Mm-hmm.
and then the basic one with spools and all that stuff so you can operate it with the starter kit, 22.99,
Mm-hmm.
and then the laser and everything, 28.99. I'm pretty sure that's pretty close to what it was before the tariffs talk.
No, it's actually up a little.
No, because now look, when you switch it to the 40 watt, then it gets up to 3,600. So if you go with a 30,
Oh,
if you go
okay.
with the 40-watt laser versus the 10-watt, then it shoots up to
Okay.
3650. So
Yeah.
that's with every single
And you got to remember,
option.
you have to pay tax. You have to pay tax on them now too. It doesn't matter where you order it. It has to. They charge you sales tax on it now.
So ours is like 7%. Yeah, fudge.
Yeah. It gets expensive.
So yeah, it'd be like $300 in tax, a little more than 300. Are they doing free
Yep.
shipping on these? I don't remember.
I have no idea. No idea.
I mean, we've got Micro Center here, and they're pretty good with stock and bamboo stuff.
That's where I bought mine. Yeah. And there's another one. There's now a knockoff of the bamboo that's they don't have an AMS yet, but they're
That's
only
so that's so hilarious because
$400.
part of part of the free world's problem with China is they don't believe in copyrights and stuff, and they'll steal anything
Mm-mm.
and remake it. And it's like so
Everything.
now so now the Chinese are making premium, some really good premium products like this. So it's kind of funny to hear that somebody's ripping them off.
Yeah. It's like a Glugo or Gluga or something like. It's a really weird name, but it looks just like a bamboo, and even the software is very bamboo esque. So, but well, dude, it's 9 o'clock. I have got to get up in the morning because I have people coming to work at the house. So
Your crew.
I wish
Trust.
trying to get some of this stuff finalized. I'll have to talk to you when we're not on here, and
Right.
there's some plans I think in the making. So
You're gonna build a guest room for me. A
I already have a
cabana.
guest room for
A
you.
cabana for me. I can be your
I have
cabana
a
boy.
cabana. I sent you a picture of the backyard today. You could see the
Uh-huh.
cabana.
Uh-huh.
We call it a pergola, but yes.
Okay, dude. Well, everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please subscribe, like, comment, all that happy fun stuff. Do what you can to help us out, as our both our small channels here. So anything you do to help our channel is be greatly appreciated. You can also find the Origin Factory on Facebook. We have a group. And Rob is Extreme Toys. He can be found on Facebook and eBay. He buys and sells RC collections. And then plus he has his own group on Facebook. And he interacts on my group and I interact on his. And we've been friends for a
And if
while
you
through
click
the
on my
hobby.
little click on my thing, it'll take you to my YouTube channel. There's tons of videos. There's like 130 of them, I think, right
Well, we
now.
got to get you to share this to your YouTube so you get the benefit of this also.
We got to figure that out. You can show me that tomorrow.
So
I'm not as literate.
it's actually not as difficult as it because so many apps these days are so it got everything figured out. It's just like, do you want to do this? Yes or no type thing. But
Yeah.
thank you everybody. Hope you have a great weekend. Rob, any parting words?
Uh, y'all have fun. Thanks for showing up.
Keep her safe.
Can't wait to.
Keep her on all four. Harold
No, no, no,
Muzzy,
no, no, no.
thanks for the
Harold
great
Muzzy.
time.
Thanks for the great time together.
You are
Awesome.
welcome, sir. Thank you for hanging out with us. Okay,
It's
everybody.
been
Well,
fun. We'll do it again next week.
sounds good, everybody. Have a good weekend. God bless.
Bye.